You see, when you got the super dart, keep an eye right there. It starts to charge. Super dart. And it's just, you watch it flow in real time, and it is so addictive. 65-watt fast charging in a device at this price, as you know, that's difficult to find. All right, we got the latest from Realme in front of me right now. Realme 7, Realme 7 Pro, and you can see I have a bunch of them here. That's because it's gonna be a giveaway. You can actually get one of these. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, and then check the tweet in the description for your chance to win one. It's the 7 Pro and the 7, and they're a little bit different, but they're going to be targeted at the value for money proposition, coming in somewhere under RS 20,000, which is like 250. It's less than $300 USD for some pretty impressive specification. This is all the colors, so this is gonna be a comprehensive unboxing experience here. We have, of course, different color options depending on the version that you go for. The Pro model, presumably a little bit pricier. But funny enough, the non-Pro model, actually the bigger unit of the two, as you can see from the box size, it's a little bit larger. 65-watt super dart charging on the Pro model, which I believe is going to be the fastest charging you can get anywhere in this price territory. Snapdragon 720G processor, Sony 64 megapixel quad camera, and a 6.4-inch Super AMOLED full screen display on the 7 Pro. Also, these are 8 GB by 128 GB on the two of these. The Realme 7 non-Pro version is not going to get the Snapdragon treatment, but you're going to save a few bucks. It's the Helio G95 gaming processor. Also, the fast charging goes down a little bit, but it's still 30-watt dart charge and a 5,000 milliamp hour battery and a 90 hertz ultra smooth display. These ones also 8 GB by 128 GB of storage. I just think we should crack into all of them because I want to see all the different color options. Why don't we kick it off with the mirror silver of the 7 Pro, the first 7 Pro. Ooh, there we go. Hello, hey, welcome to the Realme family. Greeted by a little bit of paperwork as well as this kind of smoked color transparent case to get you started with a little bit of protection if you choose to use it. I can also tell right away we're going to have an in-display fingerprint scanner. You can see the fingerprint location identified right there. Now remember, this is the silver model, but it does have a little kind of bluishness to it. They're calling this mirror silver. And this is that sort of matte finish right there. It's this is going to be a little bit more resistant to those fingerprints, but it has a two-tone aspect. I'm not sure how they achieved that, but it's like a similar finish, but just kind of slightly different reflection going on. It's hard to say, but it's a little bit of styling. You see the stripe down the side, Realme logo down in the silver right there. Sometimes this is called like glacier silver, but think of it as a bluish silver. That should give you the rough idea. You can see the camera unit up here in the top corner. That looks like a quad. Is that a quad camera setup? Is that how they're talking about it? It is a quad camera setup, of course, anchored by that Sony sensor. There's also a flash in that location. We have our volume buttons, SIM card tray. I can already spot the hole punch camera cutout in the top corner. Power switch is over on the other side. Bottom of the device, you still have a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. There is your USB Type-C connector. Of course, that's going to be important for that 65-watt dart charge. This thing is very fast. It's capable of, what was my spec? Quick spec check. They are saying 3 minutes to 13%, 12 minutes to 50%, and 34 minutes to 100% on the 65-watt dart charging. So that's pretty cool stuff. Here's your USB Type-C to Type-A cable. This is that charge brick that I was talking about. Super Dart is what they call it. And then you've also got a sim tool in there as well. So I will push this stuff to the side because I want to do this comparison real quick. Once again, mirror silver. Now let's go ahead and compare the mirror blue. These are the options for the Pro model. Ah, this is a much darker blue. So that kind of explains how on the silver model you can have a bluish hue to it, but still have a separate blue model. This is a deep, you might even call that midnight. You might even call that midnight blue. And I think I might be partial to this one. It's kind of like a purplish, very deep blue, almost black, depending on how much ambient light you have. So there's your comparison on the Pro colors that I have here. Once again, silver versus blue. That's a deep, it's a deep blue. One thing that happens here with this color is the line, the stripe of the two different finishes is a little more subtle because of the darkness of the overall color when compared to the silver one. All right, now let's jump into the standard Realme 7. And I believe this one, again, surprisingly, the bigger model of the two, the non-Pro being the bigger model, seems to be a trend recently. It also means this one is going to have the bigger battery. This is a 5,000 milliamp hour battery. And this color they're calling Comet White. So once again, we're going to have a case inside of this package to get you started, the same sort of smoked look to it. And this is the phone right here. And it is white, but once again, it has a kind of pearlescent tone to it. This is reminiscent to me of the Realme 6. I remember a color kind of similar to this. And it also sort of lines up somewhere in the same neighborhood as the silver from the Pro model. But this is an elegant kind of setup. Once again, it should be resistant to fingerprints. It is a matte finish on this one as well. It's not too glossy. And when you go into the lighter colors, you're just less likely to pick up those fingerprints anyways. Looking around this device, once again, we have the hole punch setup for the front-facing camera. This looks to be your fingerprint scanner over on the side, the way that this is indented on the regular 7 non-Pro variant. It's a pretty comfy location. I don't mind it. Actually, I've been experimenting with the side-mounted on the recent folding devices, so this is something I can get used to as well. On the bottom here, we've also got the 3.5mm headphone jack and the USB Type-C port. Once again, the thing to remember here, 30-watt fast charging on the Realme 7 versus 65-watt fast charging on the Pro model. So that is the Comet White. Also inside the package here, oh, interesting. This package has not only a slightly different charger and Type-C cable, but also a 3.5mm headset, which I can show you real quickly here. There you go. Your standard pod style earpiece wired with the microphone in line, of course. All right, so we have one more smartphone to compare here. That is the Comet Blue. So far, everything has a kind of bluishness to it, but a slightly different take. Once again, welcome to the family. And are we gonna go to a darker blue? Certainly. Once again, we go into the darker realm with this blue, and that is, oh, wow, all right. That might be my favorite of the bunch. This, once again, goes almost black, a very dark finish. Is it exactly the same as this blue? No. I take that back. Maybe this blue is still my favorite. That's mirror blue. I'm still taking mirror blue if I get to choose. It's got a little bit more pigment in it a little bit more purplish in it, whereas this trends more into the gray or the kind of gray/black shade. I mean, they're all cool colors. That seems to be the thing in 2020. You can't just come with the dull colors. You have to have a little vibrance there, a little reflectiveness, and in many cases, this sort of gradient. Now, that's the whole setup. It's the whole family of Realme 7 devices, the Pro on the left and the non-Pro on the right. The camera layout, you can see a little bit different, more slender over here. Both quad camera setups, but just a slightly different layout. So let's go ahead and boot a couple of these up. Let's just check out the differences for the unlock options. All right, so straight away, it goes for the face unlock. I'll go ahead and enroll it. Bingo. And this one as well. Ooh, that one was fast. We'll see which one works better. Now we'll do the fingerprint also. So in display, you're pretty familiar with. Fits into this location right over here. And then on this guy, the fingerprint's over on the side, as I mentioned, but the registration is the same. Move your thumb around, and this also doubles as your power switch. That's kind of the thing. That's one of the things I like about the side mounted, is it's also your power switch. So your thumb is already over there to click it in some cases, and then it's also your fingerprint scanner. To my eyes, I don't know if you guys can tell, but the biggest difference straight away is the display. We have the AMOLED display on the 7 Pro, which is gonna be, it's just far brighter and more saturated, more vibrant. It's a better display. You're gonna pay a few more dollars for it. You have the better chip, the better display, the faster charging. So you would come to expect that you would get superior performance, and to me, it's quite obvious over here. Select refresh rate, so I can put it up to 90 Hertz and actually lock it there. So you do have the auto select, which will move between the two, or you can select to lock 60 Hertz if you want to get better battery life. But I'm gonna put it into 90 Hertz for the smooth display, which you guys know I'm a big fan of. High refresh. It also has some advantages in gaming if you're playing a title that supports a higher frame rate than 60 FPS. I'm gonna go ahead and assume that this is a 60 Hertz refresh. On the left-hand side, you have the superior AMOLED display, but the faster refresh on the regular Realme 7. So maybe if you're a gamer, you want to take that into consideration. Also, the general feeling of snappiness that comes along with the higher refresh rate. But then there's just sort of the attributes of AMOLED in general, where you get the extra brightness, and to me, this is just a bit more visually appealing, the one on the left. You can also go in and set your screen color mode. You have a few options between gentle and brilliant. It's in the vivid setting right now. What happens if I go to brilliant? Oh, brilliant. Does brilliant take it a step further, I guess, with the saturation? And gentle actually brings the AMOLED display closer to the LCD display on the right-hand side. The hole punch is not identical in scale. It's actually smaller on the Pro model comparatively. Now let's go ahead and try the face unlock, since I did register the face. That's pretty quick. And the fingerprint works as well in display. This is kind of my favorite setup, to have the versatility of the face unlock and the fingerprint depending on the circumstance. Over here we have the same thing, the face unlock. Face unlock gets it pretty quickly. And then we have the fingerprint as well, which on this one might be even faster. See, that's the advantage of the capacitive fingerprint scanner as opposed to the in-display. It may have a kind of speed advantage to it. I mean, you can decide. I mean, that's pretty fast. It's almost instant. It's kind of a tough choice between the two. Each one has a slightly different approach and some advantages and drawbacks. I will say, holding on to the device, the Pro model does have a slightly more premium feel to it. The build is just a bit more solid around the edges here. The grip is a bit sharper and more robust feeling. I know that's kind of a tough one to. I'm just telling you in the video. It's tough for you to be able to tell, but I would give the build quality edge to the Pro model. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and load up some Blue later real quick so we get a sense for the volume on a YouTube video and the appearance of it. So first up, we'll do the Pro model. The phone part, you know, I mean, secondary. It's
okay, fine. I'll make a phone call.
It's a pretty good experience. I have said this before from other manufacturers and just in general. When you put the front-facing camera in the top corner, the little hole punch in the top corner, it gets in the way of nothing. It's the least obstructive location for the hole punch, so long as we still have it in our displays. Getting a pretty decent screen-to-body ratio there.
Feels more futuristic. It's getting a lot
That's
of
your
attention,
volume.
in the street. People are gonna wonder
And it's coming out of both locations.
Of folding OLED. I mean, that's some high-tech stuff to fold a
That's
display.
a pretty nice little mobile speaker. Let's try it out on the non-pro.
This brings into question, this is where your brain go. For reasons, but this one, when closed...
All right, the Pro model sounds better.
I am always...
Yeah, the Pro model sounds better. I'm giving the screen advantage to the Pro model. I'm giving the sound advantage to the Pro model. Media consumption, the build advantage. It's a lot of advantages. The advantage that the non-Pro model has is going to be price. It's going to be that 90 hertz display option on there. But then you got the crazy 65-watt charging. Maybe I'll do a quick little demo. I bet you there's one of those cool animations when you plug this in. You see, when you got the super dart, keep an eye right there. It starts to charge. Super dart. And it's just, you watch it flow in real time, and it is so addictive. 65-watt fast charging in a device at this price, as you know, that's difficult to find. I might not even exist. I don't know. Last up, I want to check out the camera, obviously, on both of these. We go to the 1X first. Bang. The ultra wide is in there as well. We have a 2X setting and a 5X. You're getting a lot of reach there on the 5X setting. Of course, you're going to give up a little bit of quality there because you're quite zoomed in. The 2X, far more usable in my estimation and comparable to the main camera unit. The ultra wide for the purpose of the versatility, the group shot, and the standard camera module. Sony sensor in there. Surprising what you can achieve in 2020 on a value for money oriented device. I will also go in here and snap a selfie because that's what we do. Bam. Oh baby. Detail. Beard hair. Maybe they've been watching Unbox therapy videos. I don't know, but we're having a tremendous selfie example. You see I furrow the brow. Here we have some contrast that has been preserved, and personally I like that. Some may not. Those people can turn on filters and all the rest of it. But anyways, let's go to the non-pro and see how it holds up and how it compares. In the 1X, in the ultra wide, in the 2X, and in the 5X. Well, 5X sort of puts you in the same spot. It may be a little bit more pleasing to my eyeballs, but again, it's quite a bit of zoom there. The 2X, far more usable, detailed. I'm happier with that. The ultra wide, I would say these are relatively comparable in this test environment. My analysis here also depends on the display, and the displays are not equal on these two devices. We have AMOLED versus LCD and different refresh and all the rest of it. So there you have it. It is the brand new Realme 7 versus Realme 7 Pro. Let me know down in the comment section if it was your money. Presumably you know the retail price of either of these units now that you're watching this video and the event has taken place at that moment. Let me know down in the comments which one you think is the better value or the better buy now that you've seen them compared. This is all the colors represented and unboxed here. We have the silver. I'm going to try to remember the names right now. Mirror silver and mirror blue. It was Comet White and Comet Blue and Comet Blue. Get it together, people. That's all the different colors, at least all the different colors that I have for this video. And remember, you can actually win one of these, so make sure to be subscribed to the channel here on YouTube, and also head over to Twitter for the official tweet. It'll be simple stuff. There'll be a link in the description of this video. There you have it, Realme 7, Realme 7 Pro.